Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris, the High Guy Jacobs, and today we're taking a look at fights from day one of G22IR, in which GROP finds itself up against an absolute dominating team in ReoN, R-E-O-N. So I want to make a huge shout out to ReoN. They have been an amazing team to fight against. They ended up dominating the Pirate King scoreboards, so you know that they were out to push and play hard, but GROP was a little bit more dominant in this matchup. Now, you will see, obviously, this is only day one, lots of back and forth. We do end up allying with two other alliances, one called HOTS and one called DJRM, I believe, or DJMR, I don't remember. And, of course, I blame my ADHD for that. But either than that being said, like I said, if you haven't already, click the like button, subscribe to the channel, fill out that notification bell, and click that join button to become a member today. It's only $5 American, but it does go a long way to help support the channel because IGG doesn't pay anything and YouTube doesn't pay very much. So, if you can support the channel, we do ask that you do that by clicking that join button and becoming a member today. Other than that, let's tune in, let's have some fun, make sure you got a beverage handy, make sure you got your bong or joint or pipe or anything that you got ready to rock, and let's enjoy this IR Day 1 fights. We've got a couple of videos coming out this week for the IR because it was quite active. We had 3 solid days of competition, so we are going to go at these one at a time. Now, as you can see here, we are running with Chad's Rally. Chad has a newly formed, almost just over 7 million Rubina, with some very decent hones coming on his set. So being able to swing for us and help obviously helps in taking down some of these towers. Now, what you'll also see is that I've got myself in the garrison position. Now, is that the absolute best? Nope, because truth be told, garrison is probably our weakest situation, but I do the best that I can, sacrifice my troops to make sure that we do hold the points. And, you know, secretly enough, believe it or not, the trades do end up going up pretty well. I do believe that Boyd is very, very strong, even as you can see here in these trades. Stepping up against a 7 million Rubina, yes, obviously he gets some bonus points and bonus damage going up against riders, but it is one of those situations where it's not just the armaments and vehicles. Obviously, those heroes are starting to see some damage as well. So we've got a lot of field fighting here that happens at the beginning. We need to start, obviously, as you see the chat, pushing with the rally to maintain some of that field control, but we're also dealing with ReoN having their allies in MITW coming to help with some of their field pressure. So even in these trades, as you can see, up against a Sophie and Ethan, my Boyd and Riven are able to stand up decently well and win in those trades. Now, we will go through some of the reports. They do go quickly because obviously it's sped up, but hopefully in that time, if you have to pause and pause or slow down the footage to see it, you will still see some of those reports going out in my favor, even though they have better heroes, better armaments, better vehicles, for goodness sake. So these new brand of heroes really are bringing something extra to the game that I really hope you guys enjoy. Same with Eileen. She really, really performs well. I saw a couple of reports that didn't make sense outside of Eileen. So it's one of those situations where they're definitely, adding new strength to the line, and we just hope that obviously with all these new changes comes some balance so that we get, back to that situation where it's more strategic and less about just throwing the best against the best and more about throwing the strongest in your specific situation. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoy. Let's go ahead and tune in. Let's go ahead and crank up the tunes. And let's watch some of this footage. Again, if you have any questions or concerns, throw them down in the comment section below. And other than that, let's get into it. As you can see, even going up against Kenma, who is a guaranteed whale. This guy hits like a truck. Absolutely has some dominant field presence, and obviously some dominant field force was one of the main irritants that we had to deal with and base all of our strategy kind of around. When it came to everybody else, we had a pretty even balance, but Kenma was pretty much one of those whales that we had a hard time dealing with. However, him and Chad really had a good comparison in regards to their troops. You can see here me accidentally recalling my march, which was absolutely stupid as we lost a bunch of troops in that situation. But it is one of those where, you learn from those mistakes. Obviously, don't recall when you're the leader, because that's obviously a painful lesson to learn. But even in those exchanges, like I mentioned, we're still able to defend. We're still able to get good trades. Yes, his beasts are far stronger than mine, but that's obviously the balance in regards to the wallet. He's got a bigger wallet than I do. But we can still see the results. We can still see the success that Boyd ends up having, even against these rider squads, which are definitely into doing a lot more damage than you'd expect. So, yes, do we lose out some of these trades? Absolutely. Is he doing better? Absolutely. But the fact that we're able to defend and get even when it comes to some of the kill counts, that's really where it comes in and matters in the battlefield. So when you're looking at those reports, it's not just about how many end up in the aid station or how many end up in the hospital. A lot of it has to do with kills, because those are troops that you can't get back until obviously the aid station clears. But see, even in that situation here, we ended up with just a couple more kills or just a couple more deaths than they did. Obviously more in the aid station or in the hospital than they do, but that is because Kenma is much stronger than me. But we didn't want to risk bringing our offense down. We wanted to keep the offense going strong because Chad was hitting really hard on their tower too. So we really wanted to benefit on that. But that all being said, let's get back into it.
Prepare to die.
I've been counting down the days to get out. I've been looking for a way from this town. And you're too far away to help me now. So I'm counting down the days to get out. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, far from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. I've been staring at the sun in my eyes. I've been keeping on the run every night. But you're too far away to see the signs. So I'm staring at the sun till I'm dry. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, far from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Full speed now. Full speed, got the pedal down. Full speed now. Yeah, 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 yeah. Full speed now. Full speed, got the pedal down. Full speed now. Yeah, 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 yeah.
One of the benefits of this IR, we actually ended up having to do some, or getting to do some theory crafting and getting to some hone challenge or hone testing and stuff like that, in order to get some, the biggest bang for the buck that we could out of Chad here. So it was a lot of fun being able to kind of go back and forth and kind of figure out, exactly what was going to be the best against this, what was going to run best for him. And we had some fun on the offense, even running, since they were swarming. He ended up running some Rubina bards. And they ended up doing pretty well, too, and trading pretty well. So it was kind of interesting to be able to theory craft and do a little bit of, testing and a little bit of, speculative analysis and stuff like that. So it was really interesting to be able to have that. So I got to give Chad a huge shout-out. I mean, the guy's, he's got a great account at only 220 million. He definitely hits much harder than that, which is, absolutely fantastic. I think wholeheartedly that a lot of people have to focus on might management. Chad does a really, really good job at that. And that's one of the things that we focus on in GROP is how to limit your might, but still hit hard, right? You want to basically be as weak as you can might-wise, but as strong as you can power-wise, to not only help in matchmaking and rating and stuff like that, but also to make the game a little bit easier for you. If you got 400 million might, but you hit like you're only 200 million might, you're doing yourself a massive disservice. But if you're like Chad, for example, and you're only 220 million might, but you hit like your 300 million, well, that you're doing yourself a better service there because you get better matchmaking, even though you have, more of an influence depending on what you can do. So that's really what it comes down to. So it's one of those things where you want to bring your might down, as low as you can get it, not as high as you can get it. It's not a race to the top. It should be a race to the bottom, right? So that all being said, let's get back into it.
your eyes the moment you looked at me. From across the room, those eyes kept following me. Something popped in my brain. No, baby, only you I see. Feels like I'm going insane, and only you can save me. Feels like I'm drowning in ocean's blue. Baby, come on, baby, baby, come on, let's go. I'm losing control over lights in this space. Keep jumping around, all I see is your face. Now you're moving closer, no time to escape. Your hand on my shoulder shifts me into space, and I can't deny how badly I need you now. 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 You take away my breath now, boy. Don't you dare steal my heart now, boy. I know you're something that I'll enjoy. Move a little bit closer now, to some place where there ain't no crowds. I wanna get to know you right here and now.
You'll notice that there's a lot of managing of the tower because unfortunately we still don't have restrictions on towers, garrison restrictions, even though they told us we would have them. We still don't have them. So I do spend up a little bit of time, obviously, trying to make sure that we have the proper troops inside the tower. And this is probably the easiest lesson for people to learn, right? You never want to send mixed troops to a tower. It's almost never a benefit unless your best hero is a Victor or, you know, something along those lines, like a Thunder Victor or a Riven Victor or something like that. Chances are you're not going to be sending mixed troops. So don't send them in your marches. Don't send them anywhere else. You know, keep the garrisons and rallies restricted and keep them obviously focused to one troop type or the other. That's super, super understandable, and obviously it makes things a lot easier. When you're sending riders to an infantry rally, or when you send riders to an infantry garrison, you're really not helping out the garrison, you're only hindering it. So do yourself a favor and don't do that. It doesn't work. So, other than that, let's keep going. I hope you all are enjoying. If you haven't already, smash that like button. The more likes we get, the better for the algorithm, the more chance this gets out to more people, and the more chance we get to share the message. All right, let's get it going. Stay lifted.
I gotta feel it. You don't mean it. Why you sad right now? I gotta feel it. Gotta feel it. There's something about your eyes. Gotta feel it. I don't mean it. Every time you hurt me, it makes
So this is where we decided to change things around just a little bit. We're basically going to sit back on our defenses here. Or at least we did. We sat back on our defenses waiting for them, and then waited for them to go offline, right? We reset that attack time for 1800 o'clock when we knew that they would be asleep, 1800 UTC. And we took advantage of that, moved our troops in the field, started rallying up against their tower, knowing they wouldn't be able to support and refill, because as you can see, now they're all shielded. It is time for us to attack, so that's what we go ahead and do. Now, we also go ahead and maybe go a little bit too far on this one, just because, like I said, we had such problems with Kenma from the beginning, so we do end up taking a little bit out on them, which may have exacerbated the issue a little bit, and obviously made it a little bit harder for us day 2, day 3, but obviously we did this for a purpose. The entire goal is day 1. At the end of day 1, right at the start of day 2 is when you can start to declare war. And plundering coins inside of IR and the coin value of day 2 is incredibly high. You can determine the overall efficacy, the overall numbers, the overall results just by focusing on plundering coins on day 2 and making sure that you have the most amount of coins possible. Now, this, I mean, it effectively gives you a potential for up to, well, what's 450,000 plus another 180,000? That's going to be 630,000 points just from plundering coins, as long as you can capture the 7 and declare war 2 times within that day. Now, there are a couple secrets when it comes to plundering coins that we will go over as we get closer to that time that I'll talk about, just to kind of be able to secure those coins a little bit better for your alliance, so that if you're in a situation like we are, where we don't necessarily know if we're going to be able to hold it because ReoN is such a hard push or not, it gives us more of a capability to kind of come up and be a little bit more strategic. So we will let you know what those are. Don't let me forget, and if I do forget, hit me up in the comments, and then I will remind you there. But I promise I will try to make sure that we have a better understanding on those tips and tricks as well for when it comes to plundering coins. Other than that, I hope you guys are enjoying. Smash that like button if you aren't, or if you haven't yet. Like the channel, like the stream, or pardon me, not like the stream, but like the channel. Subscribe, fill out the notification bell, click the join button, become a member, help support the stream, help support the channel. And let's get back into it.
Lights they flicker and the candles glitter like you're in a thriller. Heart goes pum pum pum. Ghostly figures they can get so bitter. Show you want to enter, you can turn back now. You don't know where I've been. What's going on inside? Where the monsters like to come alive, come alive. Do you really wanna know me? I'm really not that cozy. It's up to you, so you decide, you decide. Would you love me up my words till the coffin's in the dirt? Try to break me like a curse, you know that will never work. I'm a little bit absurd. I like dancing on the verge. Anyone can love a pretty little mansion, but could you love a haunted, haunted house? Or could you love me now? A haunted, haunted. I'm a haunted house. A haunted, haunted house. If you're too scared, get out. A haunted, haunted. I'm a haunted house. Broken windows and a warning scribbled on my wall saying that you better.
So as you can see, we've been able to burn their tower now with the amount of field pressure that we have. We're going to push a little bit farther into them, see if we can't take down another tower from them. And obviously, we're going to finish circling the 7. So people ask, why do you support, or why do you circle the 7 with towers? And it really is just to protect against raiding, and it protect against invaders trying to plunder coins. If you add a buffer of towers around, then when someone declares war, it gives you more of a response time, makes them have to march farther in order to defend. and all that kind of good stuff. So it is a great strategy to help to, especially if you can get to the 7 first and surround it. Then you also have a good, foundation place to defend from with a decent amount of territory if you do end up getting pushed by, say, ReoN like we do here. So it is one of those strategies you have to get to. Unfortunately, it does pretty much take all of your cement that you're going to have. I think you have enough for 1 tower outside of it in order to get them fully wrapped in that first day. But it absolutely can be done, and I think it's probably one of the better ones. Just because, like I said, day 2 plundering coins is worth so much. If it wasn't for day 2 plundering coins, I don't know. It massively, massively changed IR. So it's something that a lot of people have to change their focus on. So that's why we ended up doing that. That's why we're building around the 7. We are looking to push ReoN back a little bit farther just to give us some breathing room. So that's obviously one of our focuses. But in that process, we also noticed that a lot of them are shielded, which means that a lot of them aren't going to be online, which is why we chose this time to fight. However, we'll notice that a couple people are not shielded. Kenma is one of them. As that tower comes down, you can best believe we plan to take on Kenma, because although we scouted him and realized he's got 7 million troops, we also realize he is one of the hardest hitters on their team. So if we can look at removing him, or removing a fair decent portion of what he brings, that's going to give us a better opportunity. So we ended up burning him. And not only burning him, we zeroed him to 0, to nothing. Which hurts. As anyone's ever experienced, it hurts. And what makes it even worse, my man Kenma took his main armaments off of his garrison squad. So unfortunately, even on the defense with 7 million troops against the rally. Now, first off, don't ever swarm a 7 million troop shelter. You're just going to destroy your own troops and lose them, right? You want to have at least a rally there. Let's understand that wholeheartedly. You do not want to swarm fat shelters like that by any stretch. You just lose troops and doesn't even give you very many points. It gives them much more points than you get. So don't swarm, send rallies. But anyways, Kenma forgot to put his armaments back on his garrison troops. So you're going to see these exchanges coming in from Chad here, and they end up hurting drastically. I mean, we're talking 17,000 when that procs. Compared to the 1 and 2,000 that he's taking on defense, 2 to 4,000 that he's taking on defense. So it ends up hurting a lot, especially for that first rally. But we do end up noting again that he forgot to move his armaments, and that by its own right is really a hindrance and a painful lesson. So as we see this, obviously he doesn't have 7 million troops anymore. We do end up rallying him a couple more times, but no armaments leads to massive failure. Always remember to put your armaments on the right garrisons and make sure you garrison with the right heroes before you log off, folks, or else, just like Kenma, you end up with fire in your shelter, a loss of resources, a loss of troops, and by the end of it, hundreds of thousands in the aid station, which leads to tens of thousands dead. So, don't be like this unfortunate player, and make sure you keep your armaments on your main garrison sets. Don't forget.
I've seen enough things to lose hope. And here I am still going. I am even stronger now. Evil is looking around you. And maybe I'm mistaken. You know I'm feeling alright. Like something on my face, something in my veins. Still hurts. And I don't know what it takes, don't know what it takes to move on. The more that I've done, the less I become. I just live forever within our souls. Some do even know, and life will go on. And then we'll become just nothing at all. Just nothing, just nothing, just nothing, just nothing at all. Nothing at all, nothing at all, nothing at all. And then we'll become just nothing at all. We've seen all the way to ourselves just to know what it meant, so you took it away. Didn't try to connect it, I'm gonna forget it, tonight is done. There's something on my face, something in my veins, still hurts. And I don't know what it takes, don't know what it takes to move on. Something on my face, something in my veins, still hurts. And I don't know what it takes, don't know what it takes to move on. Something on my face, something in my veins, still hurts. And I don't know what it takes, don't know what it takes to move on. The more that I've done, the less I become. I just live forever within our souls. Some do even know, and life will go on. And then we'll become just nothing at all. Just nothing, just nothing, just nothing, just nothing at all. Nothing at all, nothing at all, nothing at all. And then we'll become just nothing at all. I've seen enough things to lose hope. And here I am still growing. I am even stronger now.
Artificial love, we just make it up. Cause reality will never be good enough. And even if it was, we just mess it up. Cause we already lost, addicted to the rush. I never meant to fall, good enough. And even if it was, we just mess it up. Artificial love. Artificial love. Artificial love. We just make it up. 'Cause reality will never be good enough. And even if it was, we just mess it up. 'Cause we already lost. Addicted to the rush. I never meant to fall. All I wanted was a touch. 'Cause we already lost. Addicted to the rush. I never meant to fall. All I wanted was a touch. Artificial love. Artificial love. Artificial love. We just make it up. 'Cause reality will never be good enough. And even if it was, we just mess it up. How can you know what's in our mind? When in between the good and bad, there's such a thin line. How can you know what's in our heart? When often hate motivates and love tears you apart. Artificial love. Artificial love. Artificial love. We just make it up. 'Cause reality will never be good enough. And even if it was, we just mess it up. Artificial love. Artificial love. Artificial love. Artificial love.
Ela por ser gentil, meigo e boca profissional. Mas que camada legal. Mas que camada legal.
Guarda show vai balançar. Se você ouvir uma tela, bata pioco, pioco, pioco,
Mas que mamada legal. Mas que mamada legal.
So I take this time to look over at our ally mates to see how they're fighting, and they're fighting two fronts at the same time, so they're still going to start to build out in two directions in order to do that. But nothing else ended up coming out of that, so we ended up jumping forward until 30 minutes after reset when raiding starts. Now, as you'll see, we're 30 minutes in, we have our 7 entirely surrounded, and yet we have not captured it yet. And you might be asking yourself, well, why is that? Well, it's very simple. This is the trick that I was talking about. When you capture the 7, your coins are now available to be stolen. Each city has 450,000 coins that they start with. When you raid, you steal 90,000. If you have a 7 captured, your 90,000 coins will in fact go to the storage of the 7. If you do not have the 7 captured, your 90,000 coins will go directly to your alliance. So the concept is very simple. You declare war right as soon as you can to get those 90,000 coins. Then you run back to your 7 and capture the 7, which will in theory and in actuality secure at least 90,000 coins for you regardless of what happens. So even if yours gets raided or stolen back, you still have 90,000 coins that will be sitting plundered. So if you do that twice, that's an additional 180,000 coins, 180,000 points that cannot be taken. So that's why we do it. We declare war, steal our 90,000 coins, and then go back very, very quickly to capture our 7. So keep that in mind. Some people capture right off the bat. In our situation, it's much smarter to steal those coins and then capture, knowing that that will at least guarantee you some points regardless of how the rest of it turns out. Because let's be honest, ReoN is a hard competitor. We knew that they were going to be hard. They seem to be fighting at our time when we're sleeping, and we fight when they're sleeping. So it's one of those types of back and forth situations we get into. And unfortunately, we only get into that by fighting them directly. So when that happens, they end up pushing us back. We end up pushing them back and forth. And that's how it goes. So we decided to not capture our 7 to guarantee us those 90,000 points, and then wait to see what ReoN does, at which point we can respond. But that all being said, folks, we end up with a clean takedown of those points, clean takedown of the 90,000, and basically an easy walk back to the 7. If you liked the video, folks, this is going to wrap it up for it. Thanks so much for watching. Click the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, share it with your friends, click the notification bell, and lastly, become a member today. For only $5 American, you can help the channel just a little bit further, because like I've mentioned, IGG doesn't pay anything and YouTube doesn't pay very much. So unfortunately, we do gotta ask for some help from the community to help us keep going and keep growing. But I know that this community is strong, so anything that they can supply and do supply, even if it's just kind words in the comments, is fantastic. So let's keep it going, folks. Other than that, that's all I've got for you today. Love, peace, chicken grease, and until next time, stay lifted.
Never